Next Tuesday, in thousands of different polling places, from the warmth of Hawaii and California to the early winter of northern Maine, you will cast a ballot. And in the sum total of all of your individual choices counted one by one, you, the American people, will not only be deciding an election, you will be writing the history of the next decade and the next generation. It's been a long campaign, and we haven't had nearly enough discussion of the challenges that face our nation, and our opponents prefer it that way. They're running for the highest office in the land by waging the lowest level campaign in modern history. They're engaged in a scorched earth policy against the truth, on concerns ranging from crime to the environment to national defense. Their negative strategy has one driving purpose. They don't want you to decide on the real issues, because they know that if you do, they will lose. Mr. Bush and Mr. Quayle know whose side they're on, and it's not yours. What is their only new idea? A $40 billion capital gains tax giveaway for the very rich. If you make $200,000 a year, you get $30,000 from Mr. Bush. If you make $40,000 or less, you don't get a dime. And what is our opponent's vision of our economic future? They have none. They tell us that what we have now is good enough. I have a very different vision of what America stands for. I'm fighting for fundamental values. The values that made the Democratic Party the party of the people. The values that make America a kinder, gentler nation. I'm fighting for the values of Franklin Roosevelt, who fought for dignity for working people and security for our senior citizens. I'm fighting for the values of Harry Truman, who 40 years ago began the fight for basic health insurance for every American. I'm fighting for the values of Jack Kennedy. He didn't say, don't worry, be happy. He said, ask what you can do for your country. And I'm fighting for the values of Lyndon Johnson, who looked at poverty and injustice and discrimination and said, we shall overcome. If Lloyd Bentsen and I win this election, America will be a better country. We will be first in educating the next generation, and never again will an administration try to slash college loans for the daughters and sons of working families. We'll be first in combating drugs, not consuming them, and never again will an administration try to cut funds for drug enforcement and cut deals with drug-running dictators. You know, about the only thing that is cheaper in America today than it was in 1981 is cocaine. And that is the true measure of this administration's lost war against drugs. We'll be first in exporting our products and not our jobs. We'll insist that those who sell to us open their markets to our products. And we'll sell cars and computers to the world, not arms to the Ayatollah. And if Lloyd Bentsen and I win this election, America will be first in the industrial world in health care, not infant mortality. And when a family hears a sick child cry in the night, never again should they have to worry as much about the size of the bill as they do about the seriousness of the disease. When have you ever heard our opponents talk seriously about any of this? Do you seriously think that America will change and move ahead under a President Bush and a Vice President Quayle? This election has always been an uphill fight. But about some things, I'm as stubborn as my critics say. And I'm determined that in the intense days of this last week, we will continue to see the truth and to speak it, that we will stand up for the people who build this country, because it belongs to you. In recent days, our campaign has been on the move. Thousands of Americans are joining our effort daily. And if you want a president and a vice president who are on your side, then Lloyd Bentsen and I ask you tonight to work with us to build the best America. Next Tuesday, your one vote will be more powerful than all the pollsters and political commercials. Our future is on the line, and the outcome is in your hands. Thank you for listening, and good night.
Remember to vote, and watch your vote count on NBC News.